We live in a very important time. This country has undergone incredible transitions, but none more severe than what you've probably witnessed around Coldwater. A transition from a society that was largely rural and agrarian to a society now that is urban industrial. Michigan is the example of a rapid change. In 1900, 70% of Americans were farmers, 70%. Today, it's down to 3%. 3% of the population grows all of our food. Modern technology has made that possible. People have moved to cities and they work in factories and offices. I don't know, how many farmers do we have here tonight? There's one, two, good. These are the important people. They keep this society going. The thing is that once you move off the farm and into the cities, everything changes. For instance, the first thing that happens to kids when they move into the city, the first thing that happens to young people when they move off the farm is that they discover they're no longer needed. Farmers need kids. They milk cows, they collect the eggs, they plow fields, they do all kinds of necessary things. If you're a farmer, every time you have a child, according to today's financial figures, you come out about $200,000 a head per child. If you're a farmer, every time you have a kid, you come out $200,000 to the good. Most of you are not farmers. You don't come out $200,000 to the good. As a matter of fact, I don't want you to go home and look at your kids and say what I'm about to tell you. Children, once you move off the farm, become economic liabilities. Now, I don't want you to go home and look at your kid and say, you are an economic liability. But that's true. Without benefit of college, which costs an arm and a leg these days, you're talking about $150,000 poorer per child. That's a lot of money. You have 5 children, that's a fortune. And what do you get for all of this money? A Christmas card. Children are economically dysfunctional. You have children for only one reason and one reason alone: in order to give you emotional gratification. That's why you have them. I mean, there is no other function for kids except that they give us certain fulfillment. They give us emotional gratification. But that lays a heavy burden on kids, doesn't it? They know that their sole responsibility is to make their parents proud and happy. It's much easier to plow a field and to milk a cow than to be responsible for that. Kids have a hard time. Kids have a really hard time. They have no sense of direction, no sense of purpose. I meet them coming out of high school, and I ask them a very simple question, because I'm a university teacher, I'm a sociologist by trade. What are you going to do? What are you going to be? You ask a typical high school kid, what are you going to do? What are you going to be? What's he going to say? I don't know. So if a kid has no goal, no purpose, no direction, what do you do with him? You send him to Michigan State. Four years later, you ask the kid the same question. You're graduating, 4 years of college. What are you going to do? What are you going to be? After 4 years of college, what does he say? Not if he goes to Michigan State. I mean, he doesn't say, I don't know. If he goes to Michigan State, he says, I'm keeping all of my options open. Which is another way of saying, I don't know.